Welcome back to day 22 of 31 monsters in 31 days. Let's find out who we're making today. A Gorgon. You know what a Gorgon is, like Medusa. Let's make a Gorgon.
While we're sketching out the plan and making the basic blob shape that all the monsters in this series are built off of, I'm going to give you a bit of a history of Medusa and the reason I included her on my monster list. If you want to see slower step-by-step instructions on how to make this basic blob form, check out this video. For more details on how I do my paper mache, check out this video. Both are linked in the description. Medusa comes to us from ancient Greek mythology. Although early stories treat her as a hideous monster from birth, the Roman poet Ovid cast her as a beautiful maiden who was transformed by the goddess Athena into the snake-haired monster whose gaze would turn men to stone. The transformative curse came after Medusa was violated by Poseidon in Athena's temple. Now, of course, in this version of the story, Medusa doesn't deserve to be cursed, but the Greek gods can be pretty cruel sometimes. Medusa became an icon in Western art through the Renaissance and Baroque periods, becoming the subject of old masters like Caravaggio and Rubens. In modern times, Medusa's image has become the logo for the fashion brand Versace. Gianni Versace apparently chose Medusa as the logo because she made people fall in love with her and they had no way back. However, some see Medusa as a symbol of a feminine strength after being victim of the gods' violence. Centuries after the ancient Greeks and Romans, we still can't decide if Medusa is a seductive monster or a victim. I put Medusa on my monster list because, number one, her snake hair is pretty badass. Number two, this mix of attraction and fear that's associated with Medusa comes up a lot in Halloween symbolism. Halloween likes to focus on the space between opposites, like the space between living and death, or growth and decay, or beauty and beast. And I think Medusa represents this dichotomy really well. For Medusa's eyes, I'm going to use these flat glass bead things. You can usually buy a bag of these in the floral section of your discount or dollar store. That's where I got mine. I think they make a really cool, ethereal looking eyes. I think they look nicest on a white background though, so I'm going to paint 2 white spots on the blob before hot gluing on the eyeballs, which I did, but I didn't hit record. In fact, I made this whole face and realized I didn't record any of it. It was like 10 p.m. at this point, and I was so annoyed I had to rip her face off. I wasn't about to take her eyeballs off too. If you've been watching the series, you've seen me glue on eyes and make eyelids so many times at this point, but if you want a recap, check out the Evil Fairy vid. Those eyes are about the same size and shape as this project. Alright, so let's pretend we're starting from the point where I've just finished making her eyeballs and I've blended in the edges with paper. I'm using white paper that's really similar to the brown paper I normally use. I'm starting to run low on my precious brown paper and I'm going to paint the sculpture white, so I just switched to white paper. I've built up the area above her eyes so those glass beads aren't so bug-eyed looking. Next, I'm giving her some cheekbones. I'm just wadding up some paper and smoothing it down with some paper mache. Next, I'm building up her mouth area with another wad of paper. It's the same deal here. I'm putting paper mache on top to smooth it in. I'm going to speed run through some of this, but I tried a few different lip and smile shapes. But in the end, she ended up looking less like a Gorgon and more like a kind of cute fish. And I hated it, so I ripped her face off again and went to bed. Here she is the next morning. I'm feeling a little less grumpy now and ready to get this done. We're going to build up those cheekbones with some wads of paper towels, but this time I'm going to make them higher and more angular. Okay, I like how this looks. Now I'm going to put a wad of paper on there to bring up her lower face. I'm also making this a bit higher and a bit more angular than my last attempt. Now I don't know what I want to do for her mouth at this point, so before I wreck it again, I'm going to put it in front of the fan to dry and work on her nose. I'm doing my best to give her a cute little nose. I cut these 3 shapes out of foam board, peeled the paper off both sides, and glued them together. Now I'm using my craft knife to carve what I'm hoping will be a cute little button nose. I'm using a good quality white glue to attach her nose to her still damp face and then smoothing it on with paper mache. Was I successful in making a cute nose? I give myself about a B-, but we're forging ahead with lips. I'm using some bits of folded up paper to attempt to give her a wistful, slightly open mouth like this sculpture. But I'm not Bernini, but I could use a Bellini because this is giving fish again. But you know what? It's not that bad, so we'll give her more of a chin and hope that helps. Fish definitely don't have chins. I cut 2 little pointy ear shapes from a bit of cereal box. Should Medusa have pointy ears? I don't know, but that's what I did. I gave that cardboard a bit of shape with a dart, and then I bulked out the top edge of each ear with a bead of hot glue. When that glue was cooled and set, I stuck the ears to the side of her head and used a bit of paper mache to blend them in. And I covered all the rest of her with white paper so that everything had an even surface. Now I'm letting her dry. Now that she's dry, we're going to use this collection of rubber snakes for Medusa's hair. Originally, I was going to make all the snakes from scratch, but then I realized that was probably a little too ambitious in a month where you're making 31 monsters. I had to go to 3 stores to find toy snakes, and these were far more money than I wanted to spend, but I bought them anyway. Do you think it's cheating that I didn't make my own snakes? I definitely do. Call me out for it in the comments. I feel like I deserved to be shamed a little bit. I tried hot gluing the snakes to Medusa's head, but they did not want to stick. They just kept popping up. So I thought maybe if I poked a bunch of holes in her head and into the snake, the hot glue could get in there and make like more of a mechanical bond, you know? But that didn't work either. So I gave up on that, peeled all the freaking hot glue off of my snakes, and switched to CA glue. CA glue is what you might call super glue. I have baking soda in that little pipette, and I'm just shooting at the glue while I hold the snake in place. The baking soda acts like an activator, and it makes the glue grab hold right away. This made a huge freaking mess, but it worked. I masked off her eyes, took Medusa outside, and gave her a couple coats of spray white primer. I did my best to get in and around all the bright snake bodies. Off camera, I used a bit of air-dried clay to try to help her lips out a bit. These still aren't perfect, but they're definitely better and less fishy. I'm not liking how there's such a noticeable difference in textures between the toy snakes and the paper mache. I'm attempting to fix this by mixing a bunch of baking soda into some slightly grayish white paint. Medusa can turn people to stone, and I always see her as being a stone statue, so I thought we could go for a stony effect here. When that's dry, I'm using a brush to do a bit of detail work, adding some stone-like veining to her finish. As always, I'm gluing a bit of felt onto the bottom to finish her off. I went with white this time. And here's our finished Medusa. I don't know what to say about this one except that I'm glad it's over. I feel like I was riding the struggle bus for this whole project. I feel like I need some time away from her to decide how I feel about the sculpture itself because I'm still a little butthurt over the process. You can let me know what you think about her in the comments. Please give this video a thumbs up, if only out of pity. I could really use the ego boost. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's monster. I'm sure it will go more smoothly than this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.